All right, good evening. We'll call to order this regular meeting of the Saugerties Central School District School Board. Emergency exits, we have one at the rear of the room and one on each side, to the left and the right. Miss Carney, would you do roll call, please?
Christine Bellarosa.
Here.
Katie Emerson-Haas.
Here.
Michelle Gramaglia.
Here.
Shakina Irizarry.
Here.
Carol Calvert. She is virtual. Michael Meyer.
Here.
Jeff Riazzi.
Here.
Timothy Wells.
Here.
Adriana Argueta.
Okay. All right, pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Dr. Rohrbach, mission and vision statements, please.
We provide equitable, engaging, inspiring, and holistic experiences that support success and empowerment for students, families, and the community in a diverse and changing world. Our vision statement: we are a beacon of educational excellence where every individual is inspired and able to achieve their fullest potential.
Okay, thank you. All right, we have approval of the minutes of both April 14th and April 21st. If I can have a motion?
So moved.
By Mr. Wells, seconded by Ms. Bellarosa. Any question on those? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, public recognition. Do we have anyone in the audience who would like to, what? That's okay. Yeah, trust me, I thought I did something wrong.
No, I was looking at the wrong agenda item.
Okay, so public recognition, this first public recognition is for anyone who would like to address the board on things that are on the agenda. No? Okay, moving on. Ms. Argueta, our student representative report, please. We're gonna wait 1 second, Adriana, let's
Yeah, Carol is not getting sound. I don't know if anybody else is not getting sound.
Why no the clocks aren't on? See, that one just lit up.
This one's on.
This one's on.
That one's on.
Carol, how about now?
We can kind
Barely.
kind of hear her.
Alright, so she said she can hear us.
Okay. Okay, well, if she can hear us while they work on that, we'll let.
Okay.
Adriana,
Yep.
back to you.
We would like to take a moment to thank and recognize teachers. Every day, our teachers go above and beyond to support, encourage, and challenge students to do their best both inside and outside of the classroom. We are grateful for the impact our teachers have on our school community and for the care they show students each and every day. Thank you for everything you do for students. Happy Teacher Appreciation Week. Please join us in celebrating the creativity and dedication of Saugerties High School's junior and senior artists this year at the end of the year art show. Their work will be displayed at the Saugerties Public Library for months of May and June. Thank you to Ms. Jody Adamsdale, Patricia Lane Mullins, and Amy Hayes for presenting the work of our students and supporting them along the way. Congratulations to our students who recently completed their presentations for the Seal of Biliteracy, Seal of Civic Readiness, and WISE. Their hard work, preparation, and commitment to demonstrating their skills and knowledge were evident throughout the process. Thank you to staff who supported and guided students along the way. Your time and dedication made these opportunities possible. Approximately 20 students proudly represented our school at the Ulster BOCES Skills Competition held April 22nd to 26th. Their participation reflects the dedication and excellence of our career and technical educational programs. We are proud of their efforts and the way they represented our school. In addition, Dylan Hartram had the opportunity to attend the first ever Robotics World Championship taking place in Houston, Texas with BOCES this past week. We are looking forward to hearing how that went. Congratulations to Emily Louisa. Emily received an All-State 100 on the NISMA Solo Festival in April. And congratulations to all students that participated in NISMA. The high school recently sent out a community letter with a planned pilot PBLA assessment dates occurring in May and June. If If you are interested in seeing what a PBLA looks like in action, please let us know. We are also hosting a parent Q&A and / student showcase on May 19th from 5 to 6:30 p.m. Attention students, if you're interested in becoming the Student Board of Education representative for the 2026-2027 school year, please contact Mrs. Molina. Junior high. Junior high New York State ELA math testing has concluded and Science 8 testing will occur next week. Grade 7 and 8 ELA and Social Studies and Grade 7 Science will be presenting their portfolio projects at presentations of learning on June 17th and 18th a.m. Riccardi. Excitement is in the air at Riccardi as we prepare for performances of Aladdin the Musical. The musical will take place on Friday, May 15th and Saturday, May 16th. Riccardi's next PTA meeting is on Wednesday, May 13th at 6 p.m. in the cafeteria. The next building leadership team meeting is on Wednesday, May 20th at 3:10 p.m. in the library. Riccardi's book fair will take place on Wednesday, May 20th through Friday, May 22nd. Morse. We would like to celebrate our 5th and 6th grade band and chorus students for a wonderful concert and our music teachers, Mrs. McMahon and Mrs. Hanson. Our BLT students created posters to encourage students to read more nonfiction books from our library. We are celebrating our staff this week by focusing on different love language each day to ensure everyone feels appreciated in the way that feels best for them. We are looking forward to our kindergarten play this week. Our next BLT meeting is May 27th and our next PTA meeting is May 20th. Cahill. Our first annual math game night was well attended. Thank you to the staff that helped facilitate a game table and to the PTA for the donation of math board games to raffle and the math goodie bags that all participants received. The Cahill After School Garden Club started a beautification project in the front of the building. We sincerely appreciate Lowe's generous donation of tools and soil. Members have begun preparing the ground for planting. The Cahill PTA will be holding our Superhero Family Fun Run this Saturday from 9 to 12. This is a free event for all. Wear your superhero costume and join us at the Division Street entrance. Our next PTA meeting will be Wednesday at 4:30 in the Cahill cafeteria.
All right, thank you. All right, Dr. Rohrbach, Superintendent's report. You absolutely can.
Okay, thank you. Good evening. So this week, as Adriana mentioned, we want to pause to recognize all of our teachers as it is Teacher Appreciation Week. And one of the things I want to highlight is here in Saugerties, much like around the country, but especially here in Saugerties that I've witnessed, many of what our teachers do are not in their job descriptions. They go above and beyond to meet students' needs. Some examples that they may never want you to know about, but we witness day in and day out, is there might be a snack box in a 5th grade classroom so that no student feels stigmatized about not having a snack. There may be a 12th grade teacher who will meet with a 12th grader who is not their student, but so that they can get on track with graduation. And at the elementary level, there might be, and I'm saying might, but this is actually happening, a special education teacher meeting with a student who's struggling with reading to give them one-to-one direct instruction to help them with their reading and literacy skills. These are just some of the things that our teachers do day in and day out that go above and beyond. So to all our Sawyer teaching staff, we want to say thank you, and thank you for everything that you're doing. Your work matters, and it is felt in every classroom across our district. And on behalf of our entire community, we all offer our sincere gratitude. So thank you so much. Additionally, tonight is a very celebratory night because we are celebrating our faculty and staff who will receive tenure. And this is not simply just a milestone by Karen Saugerties. It is a distinction. They have received evaluations that are beyond proficient, and it reflects a sustained commitment to our students, to growth, and to the values we hold here as a district. So a little bit later on, we will celebrate each of you. And just as a friendly reminder, in the weeks ahead, it is going to get so busy, and our students are going to be sharing so much of their learning, and I encourage you to be involved and to be engaged with us as a district. Some of our favorite things that will be happening, and not all of them are open to parents. Some of them are just in-house celebrations. But I love watching our students at Morse have their success parade, where they can parade around the school feeling successful about anything that they've learned. Our junior high will be sharing their portfolios of learning and presentations of learning. And as Adriana mentioned, we have our seal of civic readiness and seal of biliteracy. And one of the most exciting things that happened recently is we added American Sign Language to the seal of biliteracy. I believe we had 3 students do that. It is fabulous. So lots of wonderful, exciting things that we want the community to celebrate our students with. And more importantly, and as on a serious note, as you have been following our budget dialogue, we have done so with a very clear sense of responsibility and purpose throughout this process. We have worked to present our priorities transparently, to name the challenges we face, and to make strategic investments in our students' future. And we hear you, we know what's important to you, as you have witnessed. Your voice is really important, and when it is possible, we are flexible to maintain the level of safety that you want here in Saugerties. And our approach has been to honor both realities, to preserve and strengthen the student experience while remaining responsible and within the tax cap. And the most important thing that we are really proud of is we are maintaining all student programming so that we can provide the ultimate Sawyer experience that our students deserve.
Okay. Stays with you. Budget presentation. Or you guys have. So, you need my mic back, or you going up there? All right. Dr. Roback and Mr. Steyer.
Lip sync? Okay.
Good question.
Okay, can you hear? Oh, yes, you
Yeah,
can.
we can hear you.
Thanks. Okay, here we go. So, Mr. Steiger, this is now our 6th time. Okay, so tonight's gonna be a pop quiz for Mr. Greco. All the principals by now, you should know each slide, and it will be interactive. So tonight, what's most important about tonight with the budget hearing agenda for tonight is that legally, every single school district needs to present a contingency budget. We need to ensure that our taxpayers understand what happens in the event if the budget is not passed. We do not want this to happen. We are presuming it's going to pass because we are all invested into our students, but legally, we need to present this to do our due diligence and responsibility. So just a quick recap. This is our district. We have 2,463 students. We have 613 students with disabilities. Our L's are at about 69. And students who are receiving free and reduced lunch is 1,027, and we have 445 staff. As we've mentioned over and over again, when you do a school budget, there are non-negotiables of things that drive the budget. There are contractual issues, health insurance, our needs of our exceptional learners, and transportation. As we've discussed multiple times, there are a lot of unfunded mandates here in New York State, and we need to figure out ways in which to provide education to all students, whether it's partially funded or unfunded. So as we move through this process over and over again, everything that we are doing, we want to be aligned to the blueprint for excellence here in Saugerties. And just as a friendly reminder, declining enrollment, which is all across New York State, it really doesn't translate into proportional budget reductions because the budget is based on students' needs and the contracts, as I stated, and also all of the non-negotiables that are given to a school district. So as you can see here, the enrollment trends, you can see our trends are going down in terms of enrollment, and on the right, you can see that very often students have varying needs that a school district has to provide. So that's why there's not always a direct correlation between enrollment and the budget. But more importantly, what we are investing in is the Sawyer experience. That has been our priority, and this is what we've said now our 6th time. And it's all about the students and what are the programs we are providing for them. So the budget that we propose to the Board of Education maintains all programming, and we are very proud of that. It maintains all athletics, extracurricular activities, the arts, music programs, and field trips, because that is part of the Sawyer experience. Also, the much needed social workers and psychologists in all buildings, and transportation, including late runs for our students who stay after school so that they can be involved.
Okay, the next few slides we're going to go through are going to be a tax cap calculation and anticipated revenues. We've been presenting these for the past few presentations, so a lot of the information is repeated, so I'll try to move through as quickly as possible, but if there's any questions or if I need to slow down, feel free to let me know. First thing we're going to go through is the tax cap calculation, which starts with last year's tax cap, adding in pilots, capital levy, which are for capital projects, what we pay on our debt service. Also has an inflation factor, which is either the lower of 2% or the inflation for the year, which was 2.63%. Since that's over 2%, the factor there is 2%. After all those calculations, it comes into a tax cap limit of $48.8 million, which is a 3.15% increase year over year. This requires a simple majority, 50% plus 1, in the budget vote on May 19th. I also want to mention, while we're talking about taxes, that assessments will be going out. Assessments don't increase the amount of taxes we can collect. Assessments just, when the bills go out, that determines how much of that tax levy a taxpayer will be assigned. So again, as assessments go out, it doesn't increase the amount that the school can raise in taxes. It just limits, it assigns the amount that the tax collector will have on your town tax bill, or your school tax bill, sorry. Speaking about taxes, we wanted to give a presentation of how much your taxes would go up on a house that has a full market value of $400,000. Now, we have 3 towns in our district, so the equalization rate for the town of Saugerties is 1%. That's set by the New York State. In Woodstock and Ulster, their equalization rates are lower. So what this means is a house in the town of Woodstock that has an assessed value of $188,000, the real full market value is $400,000. So we went through and we made this equal throughout our 3 towns to show a full market value house at $400,000. So we took the tax rates for the 25-26 school year. We added that 3.15% increase to come up with the increase in the tax rate. And so the estimated yearly tax increase for a homeowner with a full market value in our district would be about $155,000 per year, or about $13 a month. This helps us maintain all student programs. while being responsible to our taxpayers in the district as well, going to the tax limit but not exceeding. This slide here shows our projected revenues for the year, comparing it to what was adopted for the 25-26 school budget. Overall, revenues are up year over year, almost 3%. It's worth noting that today there still is not a state budget approved, so that was due April 1st. As we stand here on May 5th, there is still no state budget. So as we go through our budget process, we don't have any clear figure of what exactly state aid will be. So this is one of the things where we look at the governor's proposal, we take the best projections we can, and until we have a budget, we don't know exactly what our state aid will be. The chart here just shows how our budget, our revenues are funded, most of it coming from the tax levy, state aid making up about 1/3 of it, and the smaller pieces are interest and earnings, other revenues, and fund balance and reserves that we're using to balance the budget this year. Then moving into the expense side of it, this is just an overview of everything. We're going to go to more in depth as we go through the 3-part budget. Just highlighting some things on here really quick though as we go through. Property insurance, seeing a big increase in that based on market and claim history, so that's up $350,000, 46%. Transportation, as we're seeing more student needs in transportation and routes, that is up 13%. And interfund transfers, these are transfers that we make from our general fund budget to other programs such as the cafeteria school lunch fund or our extended school year program. So that is up as well. And we'll talk about that more when we get to the 3-part. Again, just showing how over 50% of our budget goes to instruction and transportation, a big chunk there, as well as benefits, just showing where the dollars go. In this budget, these are proposed additions we have, some teachers and TAs for special ed classrooms, 0.6 high school counselor, additional career tech placements with Ulster BOCES, a suburban for out-of-district or McKinney-Vento transportation that we can provide in-house, and also a $100,000 capital outlay project. These are projects we do every year. This year we're proposing to do rooftop units in our schools to bring fresh air into the buildings that our maintenance staff can do ourselves. And then some things that we're able to reduce strategically through attritions, some retirements that we have throughout the district. We were able to use attrition for an MTSS teacher assistant, an elementary teacher, science teacher, and reducing a business teacher to a 0.4 FTE. These are all retirement attritions. These aren't actual cuts in positions. Also, E&L teacher assistant and a non-mandated UPK nurse reduction. Other things we looked at, line by line, reducing materials and supplies, health insurance projections, taking advantage of Smart Schools Bond Act for technology purchases, and looking at overtime routes and sure pay opportunities.
How many lines do we have?
Just under 500, I think it's 462, and we went through each and every one of them, Dr. Warbeck and I did.
Okay, so before you start this is another requirement for school districts, since this is all new to me as well. What I've learned is there are certain requirements through SED that we have to present. So this is another requirement through NICET of what we have, in a way in which we have to present the budget. So the next part of it is a legal requirement for us to present the budget in a 3-part fashion.
So Dr. Warbeck stole some of what I was going to say, but that's okay. This is, of course, New York State requirement. We're required to present this for easy understanding. So it breaks the budget down into 3 components: administrative, program, and capital. So the administrative component, this is cost related to management of the school district. This is our district offices, superintendent office, auditing, legal attorneys, property insurance, both these admin and capital costs. These all fall under the administrative component. The The program component, the biggest component that we have, these are the costs tied directly to educating the students. The teacher and instructional staff salaries, special ed and BOCES services and programs, classroom supplies, technologies, textbooks, all the sports, extracurricular activities, and transportation of students. And then the final component is the capital component, which this is related to maintaining and operating our buildings. So this is our maintenance staff, custodial staff, our capital outlay project, any utilities, electric, heat, water, and our debt service, which are payments on approved capital projects that we've done. Also up here, I have from the New York State Budgeting Handbook, how they, their guidelines for assigning components to expense codes. So as we went through, we aligned everything exactly to how New York State presents it in their guidelines of the 3-part budget. So we will see as we go through tonight, there are some fluctuations in percentages and changes because we aligned it to this guideline here, but that does not mean that those costs really change those huge percentages that you're gonna see. And I'll walk you through each and every one of them, but I wanna be clear that those big changes are just because we reclassified them to the expenses to match the New York State budgeting guidelines. And you're gonna hear me say that probably 10 times tonight. A simple analogy I would use for that is if I went to the bookshelf behind the board here, I took a book off the top shelf, I moved it to the bottom. The top shelf now has less books, the bottom has more, but overall, it's still the same amount there. So we're just reassigning those codes to match this alignment from New York State. So this is just an overview of the 3 components and how much they make up of the budget. The administrative component up 28%, we'll talk about that more. That is driven in part by reassigning, reclassifying to match the New York State guidelines. That includes the BOCES capital expense, that includes safety and security to the admin component to match the guidelines. This also includes our increase in property insurance expense. So overall, admin makes up about 11% of our budget. Program 81%, this is the main bulk of our budget. This is what we do, educating students. This is teachers, psychologists, counselors, transportation, sports, extracurricular activities, special ed, BOCES. These are all program. And then capital makes up about 8.5% of our budget. So for every dollar we spend, 81% of that is directly for student instruction. As we dive into the administrative component, I'm going to highlight some of the big changes here. Personnel, that is restoring positions in our HR department. That's what's driving that number. The records management office number, that is to have a records management co-cert with BOCES. So that number looks large by percentage, but it's 2,700 is the actual increase. Public information is up slightly. That's to help do an enrollment study. And then safety and security, we'll see a big spike change to 314% increase. Again, that's because last year a portion of safety and security was split between the administrative and capital component. This year, aligning it to the New York State education guidelines, it is all in the administrative component. Continuing on in the admin component, some other ones we have the other special items. So this includes the BOCES, capital, and administrative costs moved over from last year. Some of that was in the capital component, all in administrative component. And again, this also includes the property insurance increase in there as well. And in-service training and instruction. I know that number looks huge, but as we go to the next slide, last year it was in program, this year moved over to administrative to match the guidelines.
So again, because those are some crazy numbers, a lot of that is putting things into the proper categories per the SCD guidelines for school budgeting.
Correct, that's following exactly from the guidelines we posted in that first slide from New York State's budgeting handbook.
And while that may be 1,000% increase, it's still only 10% of the overall budget is administrative costs.
Yes, correct.
I have a question. So if I did the math correctly, and I should have looked at this, roughly $1 million by my count of the $1.9 million increase is reclassifications. So the
Much of it is
753, and then there's like 240 on the prior tab for the increase in safety and security?
Most of those were reclassified. A lot of it was in capital last year. This year moved back to administrative.
Okay, so we expect that those buckets will remain the same next year, so we
Yes.
shouldn't see this big increase because it's just a geography issue.
Consistent with the guidelines, yes.
On the last item, employee benefits, is
Mhm.
that employee benefits for all employees or just administrative employees?
So yes, that's a good question. And so you're gonna see employee benefits on each slide. So that is assigned by taking the portion of their salaries, the administrative component, the portion of their salaries to the total salaries, getting that percentage, and then applying that to the employee benefits. So there'll be some changes in, based on how many percentage of employees that make up that budget line. So that's gonna change how much that they're required, how much of the capital or administrative or program make up that health insurance. So you're gonna see that on all three slides, employee insurance.
Okay, thank you.
Then we move into the program component, and again, in-service training that we just saw on the last slide. Here, 168,000 for the current school year, nothing in the next school year. That doesn't mean we're cutting professional development, it's just in the administrative component that is still there. It's just reclassified into the administrative component. Some other ones as we go through, special ed, 9.5%, OT, student needs up there. Also, so some other ones we looked at were reclassifying account codes, attendance, regular school. Dr. Rohrbeck, that was one of the lines when Dr. Rohrbeck and I went through. Line by line, we were able to right size it based on past years and projections. We were able to reduce that line from what it was in 25, 26.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
On the teaching students with disabilities, is there anything that's changed to add to that, or is that literally just grown that much?
I don't know if Jeannie wants to add more details, but
I guess in terms of the cost
The cost, yeah.
itself, I don't know if I can speak to that because it involves their individual salaries and things like that, but yes, because we have to allot for the 2 additional classrooms, so with the teaching assistants, and I'm assuming those salaries do feed into that.
and it also has BOCES costs in here as well.
Okay, and then like we discussed last meeting, we talked a bit about the BOCES students, so their tuition rates are increasing, and then each one that we send, so that would all add into there. So 10%, in my opinion, is actually quite low for what I would think that would be.
Yeah.
And then some other ones as we go through, attrition for social worker, so we see a decrease there as we take advantage of retirements. So a teacher retiring at a higher step and bringing in a social worker at a lower step offers savings to the district for retirement, so that's what we're seeing there. Some other ones, transportation, as we talked about earlier, increases in student needs and transportation, out of district transportation in McKinney-Vento, driving that up 13%. And then another big one that we talked about earlier was the transfer to other funds. So this is for transfer to the cafeteria. So we are a CEP school, so lunches are free, but that doesn't mean all of our expenses are covered. So when we have to make the cafeteria whole, we transfer money from the general fund to the cafeteria so that they're not operating at a loss. This is also our extended school year, our summer handicap program. The state aids it at 80%, but we still are responsible for 20%. So this is right sizing that for the tuition and transportation for our extended school year over the summer. So that's driving that number up as well. Yes.
On the transportation, is that also including we talked about purchasing a Suburban, does that include that cost in there, or is that just contractual cost?
Yes, so that's included as well.
Okay.
And then we move into the final component, which is the capital component. Some variances that we see here between the first two, operation and maintenance of plant. This has to do with some changing in staff of that department. So we had a maintenance worker that retired from they would be a maintenance employee, and we replaced that with a head custodian position, which falls under operation of plant. Also, when we switched from a maintenance foreman to a director of facilities, it went from maintenance of plant to operations. So just kind of changes between account codes. It's not adding or removing any positions, just classifying how those positions are categorized up here. Moving down, we'll see safety and security. So 274,000 last year in capital this year. No, this does not mean we're cutting security. Again, this was just reclassifying that expense all to the administrative component. So when you see these numbers up here, that doesn't mean they're going away, they're just in the administrative component. It's the same thing with the other special items. That was part of the BOCES administrative and capital cost, moving that back over to the administrative component. So then we move into reserves. We've presented this a few times, I'll go through them. So our total reserves for the school district is just under $12 million. Of that, we are proposing to use $1.1 million from the employee retirement system, $2 million from the teacher retirement system, and $1.3 million from our unassigned fund balance. We're strategically using these reserves for the reason that we have them for, to protect our student programs. We don't want to exceed the tax cap. We want to keep all the programs. So this is the way that we balance our budget to maintain all of our programs with using fund balance and reserve.
Okay, so as we have been discussing this whole process in budget development, it's really essential that we don't stay stuck where we are, but we think about the future of our district and the future stability. So that's why we have sought out your feedback regarding transportation. We will continue to do so. We found out that in the past, we thought that we had to offer a seat for every single pupil in the district, and we since have learned those regulations have been updated, so we're still soliciting feedback. So as we look towards stability, some of the things that we're going to be doing in years ahead is staying at the tax cap will be really critical for us as we move forward, leveraging all the retirements through attrition to manage staffing levels over time, and constantly reviewing that balance between staffing and student enrollment as things change over time. And also the ongoing review of how we might restructure elementary schools within our district and what that might look like. Continuing to maximize revenues, including Medicaid and state aid opportunities, and advancing capital projects to increase future state building aid. So we've talked about this multiple times. Districts lose a lot of money when they don't submit for Medicaid. Dr. Kapler's division has done a really good job of ensuring that we're doing that. And we also have discussed that our district has lost approximately, according to Dr. Tim, somewhere around $8 million of years where we weren't doing a capital project. So we are very much trying to stabilize this budgeting process so that we can be strategic in the future. But we are really committed to long-term financial sustainability here in Saugerties while never losing sight of our students, which is why we're all here. So again, we're going to continue to maximize the capital projects. So for right now, for the $100,000 capital outlay project, we're looking to fix the rooftop units that are on our roofs. We are required, here's another requirement, to ensure that we have fresh air coming into our buildings. That is a regulation. So we need to upgrade that, and it's a need, not a want. And then for our next big capital project phase, where the vote would be in December of 2027. We are looking towards the Riccardi egress. We create a more safe environment for our students at dismissal and entering. And we also need to upgrade everything in the school district to be ADA compliant. So we can't do that all in one night. We're gonna have to chip away at it. Bathrooms, locker rooms also need to be updated. So staying really on top of these capital projects is super important. Some of you went to high school here, and that was a long time ago. Some of you went to high school here, and it wasn't so long ago. But regardless, our buildings are old, and they need continuous upgrades and improvements. So we need to stay on top of that. Okay, so there are two parts of tonight that, according to the regulations, we have to present. The three-part budget that Mr. Steiger presented is one. The other part is, so what do we do if the budget doesn't pass? And that's our contingency plan. And this is a requirement. Contingency is not our goal. This is not what is going to happen. If you have any questions, please reach out to me directly or to a board trustee or to anybody on my admin team. And we want to share what is happening. And it's our fiscal responsibility to share this with you. So why do we need it? So as I've said, it's an SED requirement, and it's also to ensure that the taxpayers understand what the process is. And it's also really important that the taxpayers know before the public vote, you know, this is what will happen in a what-if scenario, and so we can be transparent about the continuity of our operations and proposed budget if it is rejected. Okay, so what happens in the event? I'll be the Debbie Downer. Option one, we re-vote on June 16th, and that on June 16th can be the same exact budget, or it could be a slightly revised budget. Option two, we adopt a contingency budget. And with that, the 2026-27 tax levy would remain at the same level as the 2025-26 school year. The issue with this, and I started talking about this back in January in the very first superintendent remarks, Saugerties is already so far down to the bone in our budget of what we have cut in the past. If we go to a contingency, it would be truly devastating to student programming, and it would not align to our value system at all. And it would be the elimination of free public use of our buildings by the community, PTA, recreation, reduction in non-essential maintenance and upgrades. It also would reduce the capital outlay projects. We wouldn't be able to maintain our buildings. Any raises for confidential staff would not be able to happen. Non-contingent equipment, and including technology, co-curricular clubs, athletics, field trips, the non-mandated security, and the non-mandated instructional and non-instructional staff. So the best case scenario is we don't have to do any of that. And we don't want to do any of that because that is not our value system. And as a community, we want to provide everything that we possibly can for our students that's fiscally responsible so that they can come back and give back to our community. And so as a healthy reminder, the contingency is not what we are proposing. What we are proposing is a budget that preserves all of our student programs so that they can have the best Sawyer experience and grow into their fullest potential of who they're going to become. And another key takeaway is just the healthy reminder that we are all experiencing expenditures continue to rise faster than our revenues, and much of it is driven by contractual and mandated costs. As Mr. Steiger said, it's May 5th. This has been a really challenging process. We're trying to present a balanced budget, but we don't even know our state aid yet. So it certainly has been an extreme learning curve for me, and the state aid growth remains limited. This is a very fiscally challenging thing to do, and it does not keep pace with everything that's increasing. So our recommendation is that we continue to stay at the tax cap, and that's absolutely critical, but staying fiscally responsible and not going over, but not going under, because when we go under, we're doing a disservice to our students and to the entire community. By using the use of the fund balance, it helps maintain our programs without immediate cuts, while long-term solutions are developed. So as we've discussed in the past, we know we're going to have multiple, up to 25% retirements in the next 3 years. We can look to really maximize attrition, look to maximize restructuring elementary buildings, and that maintains fiscal responsibility to our taxpayers. So, as a healthy reminder, we also have board elections coming up. And the candidates for the Board of Education election include Mr. Timothy Wells and Mr. Jeffrey Riazzi. So tonight is our budget hearing, and I have to apologize to all of you who are getting tenure. I actually thought I flipped this on the agenda, so I'm so sorry. That's why I had that look on my face earlier. But it's good for you to hear this and learn about it, because it's part of the bigger system of education. On May 19th is our vote in our annual trustee election right here in the junior high school. It's in one place, one common location. And then on the 26th, the affidavit ballots are counted and the budget results are accepted. And Virginia Carney has been doing an amazing job with our new system. And we have 14 days to the budget vote. Closing thoughts, Mr. Steiger, before we open up for questions?
I just want to reiterate that we're preserving all programs for our students. This is a collaborative budget that we built together with all of our other administrators. Everybody had one goal in mind, just to repeat it again, protecting student programs and being fiscally responsible to our taxpayers as well.
Thank you. Are there any questions from our board trustees?
Logistical question. I don't know this, I should. How many votes do we need to get the budget to pass?
One
More yes
Just-
votes than no
Yeah,
votes.
one more yes.
One over, yes, one
One
over the
more
majority.
than-
Out of the total?
Yes.
Yep.
So no
Just one.
percentage of the total available
Nope.
taxpayers,
No.
just one more than, no?
No, because we are at the
10 people vote, we need 6 votes.
Because we are
yes.
at the tax cap.
Thank you.
That's a good question.
Get out and vote though.
Get out and vote.
Also, there's a giveaway tonight. We have a beautiful pamphlet of our budget. Okay. Thank you so much.
Board member remarks. Mr. Meyer?
Good.
You good? Ms. Bellarosa?
Just two quick, I wanna thank, Mr. Steiger and Dr. Rohrbach for the work they put in on the budget. It's been a long process and a learning curve for two people kind of new to the role, and I appreciate all the work that's gone in and the effort to preserve the programming, and do wanna, thank them for listening to the public and adding security back into to our, budget needs, and, just wanna say thank you, I appreciate it.
Mr. Rosario?
Hi, I appreciate the reiteration of the budget presentation tonight. I also wanted to offer anyone in support of the budget. About 3 years ago, I printed a bunch of lawn signs to vote yes on the budget, and I'd really like it if people would take one. I have them back here, so for
Another
Once we
takeaway.
break- So another giveaway, and once we break to go into executive session, if you'd like to come back here and grab a sign, that would be great, because I do not want to take them back to my garage. Thank you very much, and I'm gonna pass.
Mr. Wells?
All right, first and foremost, Teacher Appreciation Week. Thank you all very, very much for what you do. I have some family members that are teachers, and I think a lot of what you guys do doesn't get acknowledged, and I truly appreciate all you do for the students that are here. Dr. Rohrbach kind of touched on a few of those things. I'm not gonna go into the stuff that you talked about, but I really appreciate everything you guys do. You are the heartbeat of the school. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Rohrbach and Mr. Steiger. It was a lot, and I know you guys are kind of learning, but I think you guys uncovered a lot of stuff that maybe in previous administrations wasn't actually out there for us, and it wasn't classified properly. So for me, I don't recall seeing the one sheet there that was the nice it required. So it was good to see that stuff, and good for the explanations, and I really appreciate, I know you guys put a ton of time and energy into that, and I think you're very thoughtful in the way you guys wanted to navigate through it. I appreciate you maintaining all the student opportunities. Most of these budgets that I've been through, with the exception of maybe the early ones that had COVID money, there was always a lot of cuts. That was kind of where we started. Cuts to teachers, cuts to TAs. It was really nice to see that we're not just saying we're putting the student first, we're showing we're putting the student first. We're making sure that the student, when they come to the school, they're getting the best education that Saugerties could possibly provide. And I think that's huge. And I truly appreciate all you guys have done with that. I just want to reiterate a few things that were on that slideshow. We are not above the tax cap. I think there's a misconception out there that we were. We are not above the tax cap. I want to make sure that was spoken, so anybody that maybe didn't understand now understands that. I also wanted to say thank you for showing some sort of future stability plan, because I think I've asked for that in the past, and I think that's a huge thing. People want to know, okay, I'm voting yes for this now, but is this going to be a reoccurring thing that I have to do every year, where I'm going to scramble and we're going to pull money from this, and this? So it's nice to see that you guys are thinking 5 years down the road, where are we going to be? I do have a question for you guys. I think the last meeting we discussed Medicaid and getting reimbursements, and I think that the parents have to fill out forms. Is that accurate? And sometimes maybe we don't necessarily get those back.
We just have to get consent.
Okay.
One-time consent. We keep sending it.
Okay.
We can't assume that they qualify.
Yep.
And sometimes people sign it even if they don't qualify, but we just have to ask.
Okay. And is it like, do sometimes we not get anything back?
Yeah, a lot.
Most times. So then basically whatever reimbursement is going, correct?
Right.
Okay. I'll just understand that.
We
Thank
can
you.
go back like 6 months, and sometimes we do that if we
Yep.
get it.
Okay. Okay. That's what I thought last time, and I just wanted to reaffirm that, my understanding of that. And that was, when I was asking about the disability thing on that, that's part of what I'm just trying to understand that more in depth, because there's some rumblings out there that we're making money off of this, and I think that's the complete opposite of what was actually happening. I think we spend a lot of money on that, and for good reasons, but I want to make sure that that people know that it's not a money-making scheme by any means. It's definitely not. It's for the best interest of our students, and it's stuff that we need to do. I know that we have a high amount of students with disabilities right now, but I also think that Dr. Rohrbach has spoken on it previously, that I think we're doing a better job of finding that early on too, and I think we're even getting like pre-K, if I'm not mistaken. So we're hitting this at a pre-K level before they even get into kindergarten. So I think we as a district are doing a very good job, and compared to other districts, and I'm not going to say which ones, but I think we're probably head and shoulders above a lot of them, and I appreciate all the work you guys do for that. And that's all I got. Sorry, I tried to hammer through it. Thank you very much.
Ms. Carmelian?
I want to just reiterate the $155 for homes that are assessed at $400,000. That's $13 a month. Might be a little higher, might be a little bit lower for all of us, but I think that is an exceptional outcome, and I'm very proud of the fact that we can do everything that we're intending to do with the budget. And, you know, not only not cutting significant personnel, but adding personnel, adding classrooms, that is an exceptional outcome and significant kudos to the team. More importantly, to our teachers, I know that Teacher Appreciation Week, one of the things that has been so evident to me over the last year on the school board, even after having been a parent in the district for, you know, a decade and more, you take the time to see our children as little and even bigger human beings. And I see it every single day. The kids are not numbers to you, they're not your job. You are literally teaching to their hearts from your hearts and caring for them from your heart to their hearts, and this is not lip service. I see it every day. There's a million examples of it, and you should be very proud of that. I think that's a culture issue, and I think Saugerties should be very proud of the fact that that is the culture that I feel that has been developed here, and that I hope that we carry this forward. And this commitment to the students, I think, goes a long way, but it all sits on the shoulders of the teachers and the leadership in the district. So congratulations, and I'm very happy Teacher Appreciation Week.
All right, is Ms. Kelder still on?
Yes,
Can
she
hear
is.
us? Ms. Kelder, do you have anything?
No, we can't hear you. We can hear you very faintly.
Is there a reason why we can't hear her more than that, guys?
Where am I hearing her from then?
Dr. House, you have her on text, I know she.
There we
that
go.
joint text her on.
We got her.
We got it?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you are.
Okay.
Go ahead, Ms. Kelder.
All right, thank you. Again, I just want to apologize for not being present at the meeting this evening, as I have a family member that needs my assistance here. So, but I really did want to be there. These meetings are very important, and I understand that. As our community looks ahead to this upcoming school budget vote, it's important to remember that supporting our schools is an investment in our children and our families. Equally important is the role that we all play beyond the budget vote. Being active in your child's school, whether you're going to events, volunteering, or simply just being engaged throughout the year, not just at budget time, but throughout the year. This all strengthens that connection between families and teachers and leadership and educators, all of us. And it helps to build a more supportive and successful school environment. And that's truly important. With that being said, like Mr. Wells and Ms. Gramalia said, you know, this week also gives us a special opportunity to recognize the incredible dedication of our teachers during Teacher Appreciation Week. This was probably one of my favorite weeks. I have had the privilege and have witnessed firsthand how our teachers go above and beyond with our students. So I second what Michelle had said about, you know, our teachers teach from their heart, and they take care of our kids. And there's a reason why many of our teachers say my kids, because they truly feel that way about their kids. So I want to thank you for your passion, the care that you bring into your classrooms each and every day, your patience. Your impact goes far beyond academics, and you shape the lives of our kids in meaningful ways. And finally, I also want to congratulate the teachers and staff members who are receiving tenure tonight. You know, this is a milestone, and it reflects, you know, your hard work and your commitment. Our students in our community are fortunate to have you. So let's just continue to come together and support our schools, stay actively involved, let, you know, the trustees know, let administration know, you know, the concerns you have, and you know, the support that you may need. But thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Keller. Dr. Haas.
Yeah, I worked with, I was a teacher myself for a long time, and having to step away from the classroom in my career to make a living to support my family has always been hard, right? The further away I get. And then, but now, working with people to help teachers do their jobs better, and people say, oh, it's not rocket science. It's like, nope, it's much harder than rocket science. You're dealing with humans. Rocket science, you blow it up, you go home, you fix the math. So I just, again, I'm gonna iterate thanks for all of the work you do, and for those of you who have achieved tenure, and I'm glad that it is seen as an accomplishment in this district and not just sort of holding on for the number of years in order to get it. So really, thank you so much, and I look forward to all of your great work ahead. Adriana mentioned the student reps, a call for people who might be interested in being student reps, and I just want to encourage us to think about student reps, that we have multiple of them, so they have each other to sort of talk to about the work, and maybe we have some who come to a policy meeting, come to facilities, come to audit. And so I just, as we're moving towards the next year, which I'm already starting to think about, I think it'd be great to have have a body of student reps. And that is it. Other than get out and vote and support this budget and invest in our community. If you really care about this community, you'll invest in the largest employer and the place that houses the children in this district and is doing its best to help them grow.
I'll be brief. I have just a couple of things. One, I usually don't repeat what everybody has said, but I will echo the appreciation for not only our teachers, but all of our staff, our teachers' assistants and things like that. I'll echo what Ms. Gramalia said, is having a student in the district, I get to see it every day. I saw it this week, just reaction of making sure that something was being handled correctly, there was good communication, and I know that happens on a daily basis across it, so thank you, everybody. Instead of waiting till the last meeting, I'd like to thank Adriana for being our student rep. You have definitely raised the bar of just your overall presentation, and I know you work closely with Ms. Molyneux on what you bring, but I want to thank you, one, on your presentation, but also your attendance. And I'm not sure you missed any, right? Thank you. That's a big thing. The last thing I'll mention is the board has been, as with Dr. Rohrbach and Mr. Steiger, we have been kind of really focused on getting a budget, right? As I've mentioned multiple times in the past, as Ms. Gramalia has reminded me, we have 3 tasks, right? We have 3 things as a board. One is to adopt and pass policy. Number 2 is to get a budget approved and passed. And number 3 is to evaluate a superintendent, and in this case we need to hire a permanent superintendent. So it's very rare, and not asked, that we actually have 2 of our big things coinciding, right? We have a budget to pass, and we also have to look at a permanent superintendent. So we have been focused on getting the budget. It has taken up everybody's responsibility. That doesn't mean we haven't been looking at the other aspect. Our requirements of a superintendent, of a permanent superintendent, have, I think are very clear. And if they're not, it's an experienced executive, right? Somebody who is a strong instructional leader. That's what we do. You've heard it during the budget presentation, right? Our programs, our students are number 1. Somebody who can be an effective team builder. And that is across the environment, right? That's not for, a couple of aspects of our district, but across every component of this district, and to be able to build really good governance and teams across everything. And I think one of the most important things is be able to be responsive and clear in their communication and their decision making, to be able to take feedback from the community and from their staff, and, the board and everyone else, and, implement that within their communication and their decision-making. So once we have the budget through and passed, we will act on securing, the position of a permanent superintendent. So I thought, we haven't talked a lot about that. I thought it was important to mention that tonight, as we move forward. So, okay? All right, moving on. Personnel, instructional and non-instructional. We have items 1 through 4. In here we have resignations, we have a couple of leaves of absence, appointments, and then there's gonna be a sigh of relief in the audience, the appointments to tenure. We got there, folks. Thank you for your patience. Can I have a motion on items 1 through 4?
So
By
moved.
Ms. Grimolia, second. By Ms. Kelder, I heard her out there. Any questions on these? Yeah, we got it all. I got a district clerk over here who has it handled there, Dr. Rohrback. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Stephen, I turn it over to you for our appointments to tenure.
Nice.
All right, good evening. Now is the time for some celebration. Our tenure announcements and celebrations are a recognition that we see you, we appreciate you, and we are glad that you are on our team here. And so we are going to begin by recognizing our teaching assistants earning tenure. It is my pleasure to recognize a meaningful milestone for a group of dedicated professionals who play an essential role in our schools. Tonight we celebrate the awarding of tenure to our teaching assistants, which is an achievement that reflects their consistent commitment, care, and support for our students. Teaching assistants are vital to the success of our classrooms. Through their patience, flexibility, and close work with students and staff, they help create inclusive, supportive environments where all learners thrive. Their contributions often happen behind the scenes, but their impact is felt every day. We are grateful for their dedication and proud to recognize this important accomplishment. Please join me in congratulating our teaching assistants on earning tenure. When I call your name, please come forward to accept a personalized pen and certificate to commemorate your tenure. And families who are here, families and friends, if you would like to step forward and take some pictures of the recipient with our Board of Education President, Mr. Riazzi, and our Interim Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Rohrback. And so, our first teaching assistant that I would like to call up is Amy Bergenon. Amy, are you here? No, not Amy. All right.
She was, but she left.
Tammy Drost. Tammy? Kimberly Kelly. Morgan Lamberts. Yeah.
You get an extra sticker for staying.
We're going to take a picture here as well.
That's great.
Christine Maloney. Is Christine here? Cleo McCarthy. On to our teachers. It is my privilege to recognize a truly meaningful milestone in the careers of several outstanding educators. Tonight we celebrate the awarding of tenure, which is an honor that reflects consistent excellence, dedication to students, and a deep commitment to our school community. Tenure is not simply a marker of time served, it is a testament to the impact that these teachers have had and made in their classrooms and beyond. Through their passion, professionalism, and care, they have helped shape the experiences and futures for our students. We're proud to acknowledge their accomplishments and grateful for the difference they make each and every day. Please join me in congratulating this exceptional group of educators. And so when I call your name, same thing that you saw before, please come forward to accept your personalized pen and certificate to commemorate your tenure. And we will begin with John Carlson II. Ian Cooper. Brooke Denon. Amy Dunave.
And support a family member.
I got you. Thank you. There you go.
Jamie Heilman.
And her 2-year-old.
Attendee. Where's the other attendee?
Late for baby.
Alex Ozerick.
Congratulations. Thank you.
And Ashley Warner. And now we are proud to talk about our principal receiving tenure this evening. Our principals are pivotal leaders in our district who are entrusted to lead with honor, courage, and commitment to the ideals of our Sawyer community. It reflects sustained excellence, strong leadership, and an unwavering commitment to our students, staff, and our broader school community. It is with great pride that we announce the tenure of our principal, Christina Giangreco. Congratulations again to all of our tenure recipients, and thank you for choosing to serve here in Saugerties.
Thank you. Really.
Okay. All right. Okay, moving on. Business office recommendations. We have the treasurer's report, revenue and appropriation status report, the extra classroom statements, the internal claims audit, donation from the garden club, and the tax refund component. So can I have a motion for items I 1 through 6? By Ms. Bellarosa, seconded. By Mr. Meyer. Any questions on those? No? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, board actions. Pretty standard here. 1 through 6. CSE, 504s, contract. Dr. Haas, anything particularly you want to say on the policy, safe public school choice, or?
It's a required policy that we didn't have in our manual, and we need to have it, and it is, if a child, if you have buildings that have the same grades in the same buildings, so this only counts for our elementary schools. If a child is a victim of a violent incident, which is not just bullying or being pushed, but a violent criminal incident as defined by the New York State Penal Code, that if they are the victim of that incident, they have the ability to choose to go to a safer school. So they could go to a different building if that were the case. I am glad to say that that doesn't happen very often
Yes.
in our elementary schools, but it is a policy that we need to have on the books. So this is the first read. I encourage people to read it. If you have any feedback, we'll be looking at it at our next policy meeting, and we'll be bringing it to our June meeting for approval.
Okay, fantastic. So items J 1 through 6. Can I have a motion? By Mr. Wells. Second by Ms. Irizarry. Any questions on those? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Ms. Bellarosa, Audit Committee, anything? Nothing new to report? Facilities? Nothing, because we have our meeting tomorrow, right? Think so, right, okay. Policy?
We met, we're gonna meet again. Come and join us.
Awesome. There's a lady who's hungry. Okay, our second public recognition. If anybody in the audience on our second one, doesn't have to be on the agenda. If there's any topic, if anybody wants to address. No? Okay. All right. I propose we have to recess into executive session for a couple of items around the election and the budget. By Mr. Wells, second. By Ms. Gramalia. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Okay. And when we come out, everyone, we won't be voting on anything else, or so. All right. And
Carol,
then
do you have the link for that?
I don't know if I do or not. I
Just-
will check my mail. I didn't see it before.
Okay, we'll make sure you get one.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
And just a reminder, to close out May 19th,
May
junior high.
19th, please get everybody
Please.
out to vote, and vote
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Okay, motion, reconvene open session.
So moved.
Mr. Wells, seconded by Mr. Myers. All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting, motion to adjourn
So moved.
by Dr.
Second.
Haas, seconded by Mr. Wells. Any questions?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Yay!
Good night, everybody.